So Stuart Chisholm, CEO of Hi-Rez. Today we're making some difficult but necessary changes. You guys can't really see that. We're making some difficult but necessary changes to ensure Hi-Rez's long-term success with a specific focus positioning Smite 2 for a long and sustainable future. That's good. That's good. As part of the internal reorganization, reprioritization, we're laying off some team members across Hi-Rez. This will disproportionately impact those in marketing and publishing roles, as well as some from our Evil Mojo, G&A, and Titan Forge divisions. Game team roles impacted disproportionately affect our team working on cosmetic skin content and system features. So then he goes on to say that this, I get what he was trying to do, but then he says something that really eats me every time I hear it, because I've been a part of that layoff. I've been a part of it. This news has a real human impact at a tough time for workers in this industry. 100%. You acknowledge it. I appreciate that. Each impacted individual is talented and dedicated professionals who poured their heart and soul into our games. Letting them go is a heartbreaking decision. And here we go. Here's the kicker, guys. It reflects a failure in my leadership and one for which I take personal accountability. They're all good people who contributed positively to the company. None should be viewed this as a personal failure. Extend my deepest thanks to them, blah, blah, blah. And it says this move follows a comprehensive review of strategy and operations, focus on Smite 2 rather than Paladins and Smite. So, what do you think really pissed me off? Before I get into it, what do you think really pissed me off regarding that statement? And Real Elite, I see your message, and Saber Danger, I saw your questions I will get to. But Real Elite, I'll get to your message too shortly. But what do you think really pissed me off in that situation? He says it's a heartbreaking decision and it reflects a failure in my leadership. Why? And this is why I get so mad, because I've heard this same thing from CEOs I've worked for who have let us go, let 50% of the company go because they can't manage money, because they don't know what they're doing, whatever it may be. I have heard it so many times in my career. I'm tired of it. You see countless times these CEOs and executives admit, this is a failure on my part. This is a reflection of leadership. We take responsibility. They're never the ones being held accountable for this shit. No, instead, it's the smaller employees that always have to suffer. And we're talking about the developers, the marketers, the PR, the QA, the gophers, everyone, except for very rare instances, it's never the executives at the top of the company. They still get to wake up tomorrow and know they have a job. And I'm not one it's not like I want to sit here and go, I'm calling for the heads, I want people fired. But if you're going to preach accountability and you want to take personal accountability, show how you're taking personal accountability. Show it. How? That's for them. Whether you want to tell people that, like I've worked for one CEO that when we were going through financial troubles, he stopped taking a salary for a year. He didn't take a single salary from our company. He took it in stock options for the company. So when the company rebounded, he made his money back and then some. But for a year, he didn't get paid from the company. I've had other CEOs do similar things where we didn't even have stock options in the company. He just didn't take a salary, and he just had to have a conversation with his family and be like, this is what it's going to be for now. Some worked, some didn't. But that was taking accountability to me. You see this all the time. Failure in our leadership. But the leadership is never the one waking up the next day having to update their resume and go to Indeed all day and spend hours on Indeed. They're not the ones that have to go in and tell their husband, their wife, their partner. They're not the ones that have to tell them, hey, sorry, I lost my job because I failed as a leader. No, it's the smaller employees who have to go home and say, hey, I lost my job through no fault of my own. I didn't do anything wrong. I met all my deadlines. I did what management wanted me to do. Exactly what they wanted me to do. They made the wrong decisions, and now I have to suffer for it. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of it. I love this industry so much. I love this industry so much. But it's sickening how often this happens. And how many times you see the same stupid message of, I take responsibility. I failed as a leader, but I still have my paycheck. I still have my options. I still have my shares. I still have a job to go to. I don't have to worry about where my family's next meal is coming from. And I know some of that's hyperbole, but the point stands. You never see this as true accountability. Ever. And I'm tired of it. Like, it makes me want to leave covering this industry. Every time I see a message like that, it makes me want to just quit. But I can't. My goal, and it's something I'm working on more, is to bring more eyes to the studios that are opening and trying to help. Like, we had a new studio, former EA devs in Australia, announced they're opening, and they got a racing game coming next year, the 3000s. Good. Great. New studio pops up, very happy. But for every one new studio that opens and gives people jobs, you have 5 more either shutting down, and it's one thing if it's a small indie, larger private company, you have these different, every story's different, I guess. But for every one studio that opens and brings in more people, you have 5 others that post this same stupid message. Failure in my leadership. Take true accountability. Show us how you're taking accountability. Not that, hey, we reviewed everything and we're letting people go. Show us how you're going to make it work. Show us how you're going to make it right. And yeah, chances are they're getting a nice solid 3-month severance or whatever. That's not good enough. Hopefully that gets them a job. But nowadays, the way the job market is, it takes 3+ months just to go through a full interview process for one company, and you still don't know if you're going to get the damn job. And I'm talking out of experience from this. A lot of experience from this.